Hello, I'm Chan the TamBoTC channel. Yes, I'm playing Fortnite, shut up. But I wanted to talk about something. This is more of a discussion video than anything else. I am planning on streaming and recording on my PC soon, whether it's later today or tomorrow. I still do plan on doing the read-along of The Lord of the Rings as well. I just gotta find a good time to do that, because I might want to start it early and see how long I can go throughout the day, almost do a metro kind of situation with that, as I did in the past. And I wanted to talk about this because I thought it was an interesting topic. These two games are known for being big pieces of crap within the within BioWare's history, along, of course, with Anthem. But I want to talk about a few things with them. And I'm starting to lean. I watched Salt Factory's videos on both Dragon Age 2 and Mass Effect Andromeda. And while I do think that Dragon Age 2 has a giant share of problems of like garbage because it's a boring game, you got freaking. While the gameplay is fun, it's just you're stuck in the same location or locations, and it's not nearly as pretty to look at as maybe Mass Effect Andromeda's worlds, though honestly those are like that's like having multiple collectathon Ubisoft worlds, so pick your poison. I don't remember clicking on that. I remember. Why are there a bunch of stars? I don't remember that. I'm also playing Marcus Phoenix. No real reason. Maybe because Gears of War E-Date. No. But looking at these games, I also feel like Mass Effect Andromeda is worse. First off, Mass Effect Andromeda legitimately, I feel, hurt BioWare's reputation the most. After Dragon Age 2 is not only just the second game in the trilogy of Dragon Age games, but they still recovered. They still gave us a pretty good Dragon Age Inquisition. Hopefully the next Dragon Age that we see is pretty good, as well as future stuff, like when they do the Dread Wolf stuff. And they were able to recover in many different ways. We got games like Mass Effect 2, and we got games like Dragon Age Inquisition. We had frickin' Mass Effect 3. Really, the Mass Effect Dragon Age 2 and the ending of Mass Effect 3, though I think 90% of that game is still really good, and they did try fixing the ending, and they gave us some really awesome DLC. I love the Citadel DLC. Probably one of my favorites out there. Nuka-Cola, sweet. Frick you. Question is, where's this other person, though? What the hell? I haven't played Fortnite in a while, so I don't know what the frick this is. Ooh. But yeah, like I also I feel like Andromeda had a more negative effect on their games in total. What the hell? Toe hook cannon? That's interesting. With like, it's kind of the same scenario as like Splinter Cell Blacklist, where the franchise was practically murdered, and not until more recently have we heard about them potentially making a sequel / maybe remake or whatever with Splinter Cell, for example, that we're eventually actually getting stuff out of it. But goddamn, it took forever to finally get to those points. And Andromeda, clearly you can tell they took the gameplay mechanics and such of Andromeda and reskinned that and made it Anthem or whatever. Anthem clearly came out of Andromeda, so you can also kind of blame it for Anthem. And while both games are very far from what a BioWare game is known for, and they are mostly like a linear straight line. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired, by the way. Just low on energy. Let's get this. There you go. Now my shields are full. But like, it's just ridiculous seeing where Andromeda went. There's no real sense of danger in the game. There's no real consequences. I think there's at least consequences in Dragon Age 2, even though it does still lead a linear path, and it's mostly disguising it, just like Andromeda. What the hell? Why am I... Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Frickin' hell yeah. Frick yeah. So glad they put this in. That was the exact gun I was asking for to be put in. Because I didn't know what other gun they could make work in frickin' this game. Though I would have liked to see the plasma gun, because we haven't really seen that, but it makes sense they would do this. So, anyways, back on topic. While they're both very fake RPGs, I think that you can at least lose your companions, or like they leave you or whatever and such, or can even die off. Important characters can die off and such within the story of Dragon Age 2, as well as Dragon Age 2 pulls over some characters from the previous games, and they do play a little bit larger a role than the cameos that like Liara and Garrus's dad, not even Garrus, just his dad, in like audio logs and stuff. And while it is meant to be their own game, and you can argue, oh, but it was meant to set up for more sequels. But the very first Mass Effect still had consequences, though. They still had consequences to the actions. And I know that Dragon Age 2 also has, you know, a character that you're stuck with. You have to be stuck with Hawk, which does suck. But Ryder is no better. I think I honestly remember Hawk more than I do want to remember Ryder, his sister, or just the brother, whoever you choose in the role. The father was alright, but he like dies off so quickly. It's like Bryan Cranston, frickin' Godzilla 2014. Yeah, this good performance character, and then you kill him off early. But like, and I think I honestly even remember the companions and liked them more. They even they also came over to freaking Dragon Age Inquisition. You know, there's Cassandra, there's Varric. I'm trying to remember the elves. There's the one that people think is a typical emo elf, but he's actually pretty cool. I actually like his character. And then there's there's of course a big boob lady, Isabel. But they kind of made her purposely like that, and even Salt Factory touches on that stuff, that it's trying to say something about the stereotype that some people actually do want to look like that on purpose. It's kind of the same thing with like Poison Ivy and the Batman stuff. She's meant to be very sexually attractive and stuff to kind of lure you in to her killing you with a kiss. So people choose what they want to look like, even if it's like super sexualized. And it even plays an important role of being like, hey, that's the life they choose to live. And that's how they want to look. I think I hear somebody over here. No. Okay. But yeah. There's so many other things to go into. I think that I'm more invested in the lore of Dragon Age 2 because they do add more cool stuff to the lore, even though you're bored by the game and its other elements. Let's test this out. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Feels good. feels good. Wait, is that the crossbow? Is that? Yeah, that's the boom bolt. Okay. I'll take it. Why not? And I got this laser rifle. It's pretty cool. Marcus Phoenix has a laser rifle. Oh, this thing's opening. I wonder if there's gonna be anybody near this thing. I don't see anybody. But yeah, there's multiple other things I could touch on, and I can see like the opposite people bringing out points. But I think that like being that at the time Dragon Age 2 came out, it not only didn't have the negative impact that you would think it would on the series, as they still came out with great games afterwards, where Andromeda, they definitely had an impact. It's got like a scope on it. Let's see if there even is anything that I want in here. There probably won't be, but we'll check anyways. Stronger crossbow. Nope. Not having it. Not having it at all. Sweet. They're watching me. Watch me get all these goodies. Oh, what is that? I got... I think I'll stick with what I got here. Anyways, so the main character, I even think the main villain is more memorable and plays, well, the role that he's meant to play, where within a cutscene they kind of show that the Archeon, or whatever the frick his name is, that boring guy that's not even designed really like a villain. Even once again, Salt Factory pointed that out. Like they kind of show that he's not even like a big emperor bad guy of this race, and they pull the same plot point with the the collectors. They find out the collectors were making the human reaper, and that the collectors themselves were Protheans. They reuse that plot twist or plot point for the cat, the Angarians or whatever, are actually the cat. Oh my god! And it's like, they pretty much might as well go through a similar process as indoctrination. It's just really stupid. There's just not much saving it. Where while the choices don't really do much, Mass Effect Andromeda also just kind of feels like a repeat of Dragon Age 2. And even down to the way the obvious ass symbols when you choose a dialogue option being next to the symbols that it shows next to each dialogue option you hover over is very similar to what frickin' Dragon Age 2 did. They're both terrible games, but I think because of the ironically effect and impact of what Dragon Age, what Mass Effect Andromeda, I should say, did to the series, I think that Andromeda is somehow a little worse just because of its impact. And its name Mass Effect, you got BioWare attached to it. You got the aliens in that series. You got a bunch of things. Like, how can you not say, like, I've seen people try to say, pretend that it's not. You can't! What do you call the game when you refer to it when you're talking to your friends and stuff? Mass Effect Andromeda. It's still got Mass Effect in the title. And then when you try to just pretend, oh, it's just Andromeda, then you have to talk about Turians, Asari, and stuff. And it's like, hey, wait a minute, those are the same aliens in Mass Effect. It's like, no, you can't pretend that it's not Mass Effect. And it's even bad as a sci-fi on its own, because then it's just super generic and messes up a bunch of things. Okay, that's that box. Oh boy, people almost keep catching me. Anyways, I think that's all I have to say. Tell me what you think is the worst of the two. I'm probably going to be making a video soon too, and yes, Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be in that freaking video. But the video, I think I'm trying to decide on a title, but one of the titles I have is games that make me say, how big is your game library again? Like, once again, I would say in that video even to like, if you have a full-time job or something, it's like, it makes sense that you'd only have so few games you probably have your free time to playing and spending any kind of time with, as well as if you have a family, there's that taking away from that time. But that's like if you had that same amount of time and you decided to explore the Rings of Power show without exploring the Lord of the Rings movies. I would even say the Hobbit movies and the Ralph Bakshi movie. Like, you're missing out, bro. I feel pity for you, just like Frodo does for Gollum. And then I guess that means Mass Effect Andromeda is somebody's ring of power out there, except the ring of power is supposed to be the ultimate evil weapon in Lord of the Rings. So that just means Mass Effect Andromeda is the ultimate evil. You also have to think about other things of like how these games affect the future of later games, either by these companies or other companies, and how they influence stuff. And you don't want them to represent or reflect negatively on things. You want to push back against, like, say, microtransactions and all that crap. But yeah, I would even say Mass Effect 3's multiplayer is better, even though you are restricted to needing the EA player, whatever the frick, to be able to play it, depending on the version of the game. I still prefer it. You get to play as a collector. I like the designs better of the characters. You can play a Geth Prime, you can play a freaking large-ass Krogan, it feels awesome. There's some cool character choices in there. And because the textures and designs of the bosses in that freaking game look horrible, like they look like clay or Play-Doh or something, like who designed the characters in these games? Like what the frick did they do to the Turians and such? They freaking screwed them up, and their overall look so terrible. But anyways, what the hell's that? Oh, it's the guitar. This one he's using. I haven't used mine yet. But yeah, I think that's about it. I'm just gonna finish up this match, and I hope you enjoyed nonetheless or found something interesting. Tell me which you dislike. I'd like to see different perspectives. Do you think Dragon Age 2 hurts more or Mass Effect Andromeda? Once again, I do want to add, Mass Effect Andromeda is coming off of 3 really big games. Dragon Age 2 is only really coming off of 1. Keep that in mind. And I think that's another thing that makes Andromeda hurt so badly. And for some people, that game, like me, for example, I find that game to be the best freaking game ever. The Mass Effect games, that is. Like, I just made a video on the 2 inseparable trilogies, the Mass Effect trilogy and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I can't see those movies / games without the other ones. They're almost inseparable. They're that good. I love their stories, their characters, and even at times their gameplay and such, and whatever else they have to offer. And they also have great DLCs and such, just like the Dark Souls games. Like, who doesn't love the Citadel DLC, for example, or the Shadow Broker? So, yeah, I think that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, if you did, to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.